But that's traditionally what investors do, which is that, they put all the money in the bucket that they think is most, highest performing.
Yeah.
So to your specific question in terms of whether it has helped, of course it has helped. I think it has served a certain category of advisors, whether they be private bankers or large IFAs, or IFAs who are dealing with NRIs who say that they're aware of some of these products internationally. As a manufacturer, our philosophy has been that we have it available internationally. They are well-known products internationally, used by investors across the globe. And if we have a partnership with BlackRock, why not bring them on the shelf here in India and put them on the shelf? It may not be that those products are something that are used by all advisors or all clients. It may also not be that they're being used at all times. But I think at various points of time, like now we're seeing a lot of interest in our US fund, and at other points of time, we had great interest in our gold fund, which has gone away now, of course, in the way that that category is performing. But natural resources, agriculture, I think we're seeing new customers come through, but from a category of advisors who feel that it's important to have a different conversation with the client about what's available.
Sure, great, thanks. So basically, can I understand what you said, and then on a lighter note? 20 years of private mutual fund industry and 25 years of public sector entry, and mutual funds is still a new product.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think all of us have done something, or probably we could have done something more in getting, like John made a very pertinent point that why are we not using liquid funds for simple customer onboarding purpose? Yeah, it's been a great idea since 1997. Liquid fund started, money market fund started, and we are in 2013, almost, 16 years later. But coming back to this point of Naya Tarika, now let's say we talked about some of the new products, we talked about some of the research and analytics tool, and we talked about some of the technological solutions. John, in terms of customer engagement, what is it apart from these three? Is there anything that an IFA can use, or within these three, according to you, what can an IFA use to increase customer engagement and customer satisfaction?
When you say three,
I talked about technology, the technological solutions. I talked about research and analytics, and I talked about new products. So international was part of the new products, yeah.
Okay, I think I covered all that in my earlier thing, but I'll just elaborate a little bit. I'm an operations and service guy and technology guy, so I'll restrict my conversation to that.
Fair.
I personally believe, I have a different take on this. You just flash back 25 years in time. There was nothing called a mobile in our hand, okay? And the first mobile, when it came, I remember it was like a piece of brick, okay? It was a big thing, and it was a huge thing to say I have a mobile with me. People used to look at you when you talk and used to say, hello, jaldi bolo, and all that, because you want people to see that you have a mobile in your hand. It costs 16 rupees a minute. You and I won't pay more than 16 paise a minute now. See how technology has changed. The phone has become smaller, the phone has become smarter, and the phone is becoming powerful. We have something called phablet now. Okay, it's phone and a tablet together is a phablet. I personally believe if you just push back 20 years ahead in time, this is going to be the most powerful piece in a distributor's hand. This will be very, very powerful. You look at our kids today. When I say let's go for a movie, they say, why don't you just do it on your phone? Okay, and you have apps where you just go press a few buttons and it is done. From these days to these days, where you used to push and make a call, to touch. That's how technology has moved. And I don't know how many of you believe in this room, but I personally believe the phone and the phablet, the phone and the tablet put together is the future. You and I will have to walk around with it, because what you can carry in your hand is not only an execution tool to make a call or to put a deal through or order through, it is also a huge piece of information. 20 years down the line, information will be very complex. Products will get probably more complex. You and I will never make it simple. And the customer will be even more confused. So the need of the hour then is to have a combination of all this, where you have information crunched, you have the ability to execute. Make it simple. Again, I'm saying, like, keep the product simple, keep the technology simple, and it can be done with a tablet in your hand. So that is as far as technology is concerned. I think this is a game changer. And on the MFU, we plan to do all that. So we'll actually enable and give power in the hands of a distributor to do all that. So I think it will make a difference. I think people have to invest in technology. You and I probably don't think too much about it, but you have to invest in technology. I think my single biggest advice to all you distributors is that you have to invest in technology. I don't think, see, a phone also when it came was very expensive. They have become smaller, smarter, as I said, they become cheaper also. Of course, you have the high ends also. But what you can do with a basic phone is also phenomenal enough today. So similarly, I think the tablets will also become cheaper as they go. The more you adopt, see, your customers will also be two different types. You'll have the sophisticated customers, you have the simple customers. I don't think with the simple customer you need great deals of technology. He's a very simple man. In fact, I get a lot of customers who say that make your mutual fund statement like a bank statement of bank passbook. It should be as simple as that. So I think the expectations of customers will increase. The customers, look at the young of India today. The young guys who come out of these engineering colleges, medical colleges, business colleges, they will all be sophisticated. I think we probably underestimate what this next generation will be like. They will want to do more on technology. And if you ask ourselves, what are we doing personally about that? I don't know if we are well prepared to do that. So a lot of investment has to go in technology. I think it'll be the way business is done in future.
I just want to jump in there. I couldn't help it because I was literally the first salesperson for mobile phones in India. I joined what was then Hutchison Max Telecom in '95, which is now Vodafone. And I was one of the first sales guys recruited. We were working out of a 300 square feet office, and I was selling those big brick phones that you could kill somebody with at 16 rupees, 80 paise a minute. And I remember that we were selling, 50 connections a week, and slowly grew it to about 100 connections a week. And we used to think that we are cat sales guys. And a new CEO came in, and he said, you know what, you guys, this industry is a beautiful industry. It'll become more mass, and you will find SIM cards being sold like pan parag in pan shops. And we were about 16 sales guys at that time, and we all had a smoke outside and said, "Pata nahi kahan se aaya hai CEO ki pan parag jaisa bikega." And now, when you think about it,
that's what is happening.
you have postpaid vouchers in every kirana store, and that's how the
Absolutely.
business happens, and that's how telecom has penetrated. So we may not even know from a mutual fund perspective, or for this business, how things will change. And what John said in terms of mobile phones and how that could change, tablets could change, is clearly something that all of us need to keep in mind. In fact, connecting back to what Karan was talking about in his presentation, when we looked at all those athletes, I think the other synonymous thing with athletes that come to mind is training. You can't get to that level without training. And I think what Karan obviously meant, and I just want to repeat that, is that when we need to think as ultra sports people and compete like them, I think it's the training that he's talking about, and the training that we need to give ourselves. So sometimes this technology can scare us. We could feel that these naya tariqas will not be adopted. I'm really glad that Next Advisors took this as a topic, because I think these are the aspects that need to be given a lot more thought to. There are things that we fear as advisors, that we can't say no to a certain number of our customers who take our energy away, as Mark was mentioning. We can't say no to them, we can't fire them. We don't understand technology because our clients don't understand technology. Why the hell would they want to do that? But I think the future would mean that we would need to take the first step in understanding all of this. That will change our business, change business models, change the way that we compete with each other. And probably the most important thing in that, most relevant thing in that, is training, that we've got to actually start with ourselves. And we need to invest in ourselves, in understanding all of this, learning all of this, including the basics of wealth management and advisory and all of that, rather than being just a standard product seller, product pusher, and thinking very nicely about advisory, but ultimately just doing product push. I think training would probably be the key new thing that all of us would need to invest a lot more in.
Great.
I
Vineet,
just
your
want
views?
to- I just want to build on both the points that were made. While we all agree that technology is here to stay, we must all understand that technology is also a disintermediator, right? So there will be platforms, there will be venues where there will be a way to transact yourself as far as the end customer is concerned. As IFAs, we are talking about taking ourselves to the next level, because if you are as good as just being an intermediary, selling the manufacturer's product to the end customer, you will not be required very soon. when the MFU comes or when any other similar platform comes. What is really important for us is to understand a few things that came out quite nicely. One, in the next 5 to 7 years, the amount of e-commerce transactions that are going to increase in this country are going to be enormous, almost unprecedented. And the symptoms that are being talked about are here to stay. The ease with which my 12-year-old daughter orders a book on Flipkart and very casually tells my wife, just pick it up when it comes on the door, just tells us as to how easy it has become for everybody around us, of course 20 years younger to me, to use technology. So you cannot fool the customer any longer. If you are an IFA who's only going to give the tabular performance of 15 top funds when you are prospecting business from him, you are out, right? Because that is already available to him. That is available on a venue, that is available in a newsletter, that is available if he goes to the website of the manufacturer, right? We really need to step ourselves as advisors to the next level, which is where his point comes in, that we need to train ourselves. We need to understand why would we exist in this entire ecosystem of financial services or financial products. Do I have anything to offer to my customer because of which I will get an appointment? And that is where the completely dichotomy comes into play. Technology is not what is going to put you in front of the customer. Technology is going to give you the reason to talk sense in front of your customer. The technology should allow you to be customized when you are sitting across the table with your customer. Technology should allow you to free up your time to engage more with your customer. Technology should only make all of that available. If we are all thinking that the technology is going to actually be the end all of everything, I don't think so. I think it is going to be that back end which will allow you to be consistent, which will allow you to be error free, which will allow you to scale your business, which will allow you to perhaps, after applying analytics, ahead of your customer. But there is going to be a lot which is going to be equal with you and equal with your customer. So we need to really understand this thing very quickly. Are we going to get disintermediated by technology? And if we are going to be, then what is it that we are doing as individuals, which is going to be valuable always, right? What is always going to be valuable will be the human intellect in analyzing your opportunities, analyzing what the customer wants and listening to him. If you do all of that, that is the future that we are all hoping to be a part of.
Just to add a couple of cents.
Yeah.
I think the point is very valid, but a slightly different perspective on this. You look at it, the last mile is always the most important when it comes to delivery to the customer. And IFAs, I believe, are serving the last mile of connecting to the customer. As he rightly said, technology can go to the last mile. It can provide you the best of breed products. It can provide you the best of breed research and analytics. However, from there on to the customer, there are two aspects of it. One is convenience, and the second is, which we have been talking through, is the trust, the skill that you bring on the table for the customer, how you handhold the customer in tough times and troubled times. So the convenience part will always keep growing up. Customers will keep adopting to it. There will be customers who will be do-it-yourself customers who might not require IFAs. Still, there will be a huge population that would require people like you at the last mile to be able to take care of their finances well. That is first point. I have just another point. I'll take a minute to that. The whole platform that we are talking of also has to match the pace of the industry, the pace at which you are growing, the pace at which financial products are maturing, and the pace at which the markets are being more volatile. So for instance, if apart from analytics, say for example, we were talking about international products. So when we recommend a customer that rather than just India equity and debt, why don't you look at also say US and maybe some other economy and diversify? Do we close the loop somewhere and tell the customer, okay, this is how I will like to reevaluate how the performance or how the financials have been, and whether the decisions that we thought have been right or wrong. So somewhere the analytics or the technology also has to evolve and keep pace with the entire ecosystem so that you are enabled always in front of the customer. And your value proposition comes in the term that you will always be the people who will tell the customer, okay, this technology is good or not, this kind of analytics product which I can use is good or not. Customer might not have time to take that. He can take any online product which is available. I'm sure tomorrow or 1 year down the line, there will be 10 analytic products or 10 online portals which he can use to transact or complete his whatever he wants to.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, gentlemen. Just to sum up the discussion that we had, I think all of us are actually talking about using innovative tools or new tools or naya tarika such that the end customer gets a happy experience. And that happy experience, whatever happens in the back end, like Vineet also mentioning or Ajit also mentioned, in fact, all four of them in some sort of manner mentioned about it. I'll simply use a simple analogy that I need electricity in my house. As a user, what do? There is a switchboard. I just switch it on and the appliance starts working. I switch it off and the appliance stops working. On the back end, the huge power plant and the distribution line, I'm least bothered about what goes on in there. Somewhere in the advisor-investor relationship, that switchboard and the electricity experience is what the advisor can provide. What happens on the back end is the entire research that somebody comes up with, or the new products that somebody comes up with, or fund management styles that somebody comes up with. Eventually, the experience that we can do. At the same time, Sharad's point, which